Hey everyone, Joshua here from Welcome back to a new Simpsons video, and we're back on a new re-reviewing of my favorite Simpson episodes. And this is yet another classic, very early season, or Simpsons episode that I do and always enjoy. Even from first watching it for the first time, I have always enjoyed this episode. So yeah, we start this episode with this show on TV that is happening, that's going on, and Homer just thinking about cooking bacon on the beach. And one of their old neighbors is leaving, and she's saying, for one, can you put some pants on when you walk by the door? And Homer's, no. And then picking up the different pumpkins from Halloween, no. He's like, and then, yeah, there's a moose that's just all of a sudden there. And when Homer is doing the lawn, he sees some of the stuff that's outside of the house that is being sold. And yeah, he takes the stuff, even taking some medicine, taking some pills that isn't even addressed to him. And yeah, Homer then sees this all-you-can-eat seafood that is happening at the Frying Dustman. And Marge is, of course, saying that she thinks she's allergic to seafood. The last time she ate anything seafood, her throat swelled up and she went into revulsion. And yeah, we see this couple looking at the house and overhear Homer, and of course they're disgusted with Homer, and and yeah, they just leave. And yeah, Bart and Lisa go into the house, and yeah, Bart is scaring Lisa, like sewing with the sock and doing his eyes in a very funny way. And then this teenage girl comes, Laura, which she's a pretty good character. I hate that we don't really see her often anymore. That's the thing, though. We don't really see this character that often after this episode. I mean, yeah, we see her mom, right? There are some appearances of her mom after this episode, but not necessarily Laura herself. And yeah, Marge is talking to Laura's mom, and yeah, getting this movie, sewing this movie for her, and talking about her divorce with that they had, and Homer just looking at, or Marge is looking at Homer, just telling Santa's old helper to get out of his hammock. And yeah, Bart getting a wet willy and just getting some punches, and even getting spit on his hand. And yeah, he said he has not washed that hand that we see. Very gross looking, though. And even trying to touch Lisa with it. And yeah, Homer's trying to call for a babysitter, but apparently the last babysitter was so terrified, or has a very bad experience with Bart. And yeah, Bart has the idea of getting Laura to come and visit, or come and babysit. And of course, Lisa's doing the whole kind of thing to Bart. And yeah, he gets stuck on Santa's little helper, and he's like, okay, I think I should wash my hand. Yeah, I think you should have washed your hand a while back, Bart. And yeah, Lisa even then sees Bart taking a bath, and she's like, this has nothing to do with Laura, does it? And yeah, him with those, I'm not sure exactly what you call kind of things that you would say, but he poured some bubble soap in it. And Laura's wondering what they would want to eat, and we see this restaurant, which is not doing so well. And yeah, they're fighting over their phone when they get a call from them. Which yeah, that, I don't know if this is some kind of Chinese place, or not sure exactly, but it does look good, whatever they did get from the restaurant. And yeah, then we have Homer and Marge at the seafood restaurant, and yeah, the waiter is like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but everything on the menu has fish in it. And Marge is like, what about the bread? Does it have much fish in it? And then she's like, well, I got some Tic Tacs in my purse, and he's excellent choice. Yeah, I don't think you would normally hear anybody say excellent choice when somebody like Marge would come in. And of course, Homer wants the all you can eat, which he is going to give Homer a plate, which, yeah, Homer goes and takes the whole steam tray. Yeah, Homer literally goes and takes the whole steam tray. Which I know for a fact you could not do that for real. Like, yeah, I'm sure you would probably get kicked out or something, not sure exactly, if somebody actually tried to take the steam tray with the food. When Homer does not necessarily know what all you can eat actually means, though, because he literally says taking the whole steam tray, even though you're supposed to be given a plate, right? Like a plate, and you can go and get more food. You just can't go and take the whole steam tray with you. And yeah, Maggie just dancing with Snowball, and Bart dancing and having this vision as well. And yeah, Marge is just sleeping. Marge is just sleeping while Homer is just stuffing his face. Like, he is not even swallowing of what it looks like. He's just yum 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 yum. And yeah, even the sea captain is seeing him, and he's like, he's no man. He's a remorsed eating machine. And he tells Homer it's 6 spells, time for closing. And then gets his man to get Homer out. And I love this, though, because when Homer gets dragged out the first time, he runs back in, and Marge is still sitting at the table that they were eating at. And then after they get him a second time, she's going towards the door. It's like she knew. It's like Marge knew that Homer was going to come back, because she was just sitting there still when Homer ran back in the second time. It's like Homer's done this plenty of times where Marge is just used to it, where the first time she doesn't even try to move. She's just sitting there. And yeah, of course Homer wants to do this in court. He wants to do this in court. And yeah, Laura and Bart at the Quickie Mart playing this game, and Apu does kind of see how Bart likes Laura. And yeah, then we see Lionel Hutz, which again, I just wish that we see this character a lot more, though, especially in the newer seasons. I don't know whatever happened to him. That's the good question. Whatever happened to this guy? And also Troy McClure. Yeah, whatever happened to Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure, for example? Whatever happened to those characters? We don't ever see those characters in the newer seasons, right? I always wonder what happened to those two. I mean, I wouldn't say Dr. Nick, we don't really see a whole lot as often either, but especially these two characters, we don't ever see hardly. I mean, yeah, there's some characters that we barely even see nowadays. And of course, he's like, Homer, I don't use this word much, but you are the greatest man in America history. And of course, Homer is pleased to hear that. And yeah, Bart is coming to see his grandpa, and this old man just coming towards Bart before getting taken away. And yeah, Bart wants to ask his grandpa if he had a crush on an older woman, and he said that he had a crush on the oldest woman, which was delivering this baby. And which of course, she was ended up being at 120 years old, and even trying to wear some beads as a beard. And yeah, Bart wanting to go to Homer and talk about women, and Marge thinks that Homer should teach Bart some of this type of stuff, or talk about this subject. And Homer's like, why shouldn't he know or find out the way I did? And she's like, are you sure? And yeah, we then see this flashback of Homer at the zoo, and he tells the zookeeper that these monkeys are fighting each other, and he does whisper in his ear, but you can clearly tell what he's saying, that they're having sex, and he's like, oh. So yeah, that's how apparently Homer found out for the first time, when he was starting to find out. And yeah, Homer says that a woman is like a refrigerator, but then he changes it to a woman is like a beer. It's good and tasty, it looks good, but you can't stop at one woman, you have to drink another. And then yeah, he eventually just gets all drunk. Yeah, Homer just gets all drunk after eating or drinking all this Duff beer. And yeah, Bart then is trying to figure out how he can be noticed by Laura. And she then comes to Bart's window saying to meet her at the Bart's treehouse and come alone. And yeah, she comes to Bart and breaks the news to him, which literally breaks him though. Like, we see this vision of her ripping Bart's heart and kicking it into the trash can when he finds out that Laura has a boyfriend. And apparently is Jimbo Jones. Yup, Laura's boyfriend is Jimbo Jones, which then we just see this flashback of Jimbo just putting Bart's head in the toilet while Principal Skinner is trying to wait. Isn't there another bathroom stall though in the restroom besides that one? Unless if the other one's being used as well. And yeah, Laura's just telling Jimbo that Bart's just a kid. And of course, yeah, Bart is gonna show who is who. And yeah, then we go to the actual court, and Lionel Hutz being all serious, even though he's not a real lawyer. Which yeah, that is definitely illegal, I would say. But that's what I loved about Lionel Hutz's character, how funny he is, right? Even if he did actually get caught, which who knows if that actually is why we don't see him anymore. Maybe he actually got caught by the police. But him saying, Captain McAllister, is it for a fact that you are not a real captain? And yeah, the sea captain is like, I. And yeah, they're bringing in the amount of shrimp that Homer ate, which they then put 18,000 letters all addressed to Santa Claus. And yeah, the wrong room. And the other lawyer is like, you want the people of Springfield versus Kris Kringle. That's next door. So yeah, apparently it's not even all the shrimp that Homer ate. It was just 18,000 letters all addressed to Santa. And yeah, Homer then has this pizza guy come and bring him pizza. Yeah, I know that's definitely not a thing either. Right? I know that's definitely not a thing. You cannot order pizza in a court. I know for a fact that you cannot get pizza in a court. Or, well, yeah, even if it's not if you're not in an actual court case, right, in a trial or anything, you still can't have food in a court. And yeah, then Lionel Hutz is like, Mrs. Simpson, what did you and Homer do after you were rejected from the restaurant? And Marge is first saying that they just went straight home. But then Lionel Hutz is like, Mrs. Simpson, you're under oath. And Marge, I just love this part though. Marge says that they drove around town until 3 a.m. looking for another all-you-can-eat fish food restaurant. And when they couldn't find one, they went fishing, and she starts crying. Yeah, I don't know what's so sad about that, but I just find that funny, though. After driving around town until 3 a.m. looking for another all-you-can-eat fish food restaurant, they just went fishing instead. And yeah, the sea captain has a proposition for Homer. And yeah, we just see the sea captain presenting these people to, of course, when they're coming to eat his food, they're also having Homer sit at this window, stuffing his face with food. And they're like, oh, he's hideous. I heard they save a gorilla. And yeah, props to Marge, though. I mean, yeah, Marge is covering her face. But I just can't. It is kind of hard to believe Marge is still with Homer, though, right? How Marge is still with Homer after all these different things that happen. I'm quite impressed how she's still actually being with Homer. And yeah, Bart is trying to figure out how to prove to Laura that Jimbo isn't who she thinks he is. And yeah, of course, Moe gets a prank phone call. Yeah. And yeah, he pulls out a knife as well and goes to Bart's house, which, yeah, Jimbo starts crying, and Moe is like, sheesh, I wasn't going to cut you, or I wasn't going to kill you, I was just going to cut you a bit. And yeah, he then remembers that he's got to go and check on Barney, which, yeah, he's just drinking some of the beer. And yeah, Laura tells Jimbo that he's not exactly what she thought. And she actually tells Bart that if only he was old enough to grow a mustache, a good enough mustache, she actually would ask him out, and actually gives him a kiss as well. And then we end it on a really good note with Laura and Bart doing a prank phone call to Moe yet again, ending it on a good note. Again, a really good classic season episode, though. Again, just so many very hilarious moments, though. Newer Simpsons still has a lot of funny moments, but the early season Simpsons, the early seasons of The Simpsons, definitely have the better scenes, right? The bestest jokes and the bestest hilarious moments and stuff that would be memorable, right? That people can quote or look back on many years later, right? From the early seasons. That's how good early Simpsons is. And that's why I do prefer the early seasons of The Simpsons. Yes, I do like the newer seasons, right? But I especially definitely like the older seasons. But yeah, I'd like to know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments below, and catch you next one.